Pledge allegiance. Please stand. Thank you. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call.
Chairman Anthony Tattalia.
Here.
Board Member Anne Marie Fulham. Here. Board Member Edmund Moore is absent. Board Member Mark Schiffer.
Here.
And Board Member Brian DeSessa.
Present.
Okay, at this time, approval of the minutes for September, was it?
We'll do September and then October, please.
Can I get a motion to approve September minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the September minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So move. October minutes. Motion to accept them.
So moved.
So move. Sean.
Second.
Second by
Mark.
Mac. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So move. Okay, let's move right on here. Hearing. I think we have Flanders here, is that correct? Flanders and,
If possible, if we could just do it in order, I would greatly appreciate it. You have, first on the list is Deborah Oppenheimer versus L002051, Hampton Cedar Construction Corp., Julio A. Jarva.
yeah, but nobody, is anybody here from Hampton Cedar?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hampton Cedar is here.
Sorry, I didn't think anybody was here. Okay, let's reopen that hearing.
I do not have Deborah Oppenheimer here, so
We don't have Deborah.
We were waiting on any final submissions, is what my last
That would be
record was.
correct.
Was there anything
Right.
else to be submitted at this point?
So, that is correct. That's
Excuse me.
as far as,
We just need your name.
You're an
and,
attorney,
for the
right?
record. Yeah.
I am an attorney. My name is
Okay.
Brian Lewis
So-
of Lewis Joes Avalon Vilas. When we were last here, we had closed the hearing subject to submission of some additional information to the board. We had, and this is just a housekeeping matter from our perspective, I had submitted to the board printouts
Translations. Yep.
of text messages with their translations. I submitted them via a thumb drive. It's about 400 and something pages. If the board wants, I can submit 9 copies of the 400 pages.
I'm not able to open it.
Oh, you can't open it?
No, we're not allowed to open any of that stuff. I did
Okay.
notify Mr. Lewis of that we are unable to open it. I cannot touch any thumb drives. Everything must be documented, and then we put it in a permanent file as well.
So
We need 9 copies of that?
No, you do not need 9 copies. You can make 1 copy, and you can submit that.
Okay.
And we will share it amongst the board, and that'll be my copy
Okay.
moving forward.
Yeah, that's
okay,
fine.
then that's what we'll do.
Let's do that.
Want to drop a phone book.
I didn't have any other questions. Anyone else?
Well, we were waiting for that information, but we
And I don't know if Ms. Oppenheimer submitted anything. She said she was going to do the same. I'm not sure if she
I have
did.
not received anything from Ms. Allen.
Okay,
So we will
this-
submit that then.
You submit that information to us,
And we'll,
and then at this point,
then we'll
we'll
make a
just
determination.
keep the meeting open, the hearing open, I'm sorry, until we get that information, and we'll review it and go from there.
Very good.
Okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Do they need to make any statements?
No, we don't.
So are you adjourning it to the following month?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's enough time, Mr. Lewis?
Absolutely. We can have that submitted later this week. If it's going to be deemed on submission, do the parties need to appear again, or is that sufficient? Okay.
Because we've closed the public hearing, we just left it open for written subs, so once you submit those,
You
Okay,
could just
so I-
submit that, and
and
then
that's
we'll
it.
go from there.
I'll submit that. I'll let Ms. Eastman know, and then we will plan on not appearing, provided we.
correct?
Right, you don't have to appear.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Right, just for the record, Wednesday, December 14th, 2022 is when you will have the submission. I'll try to get it to you before then.
Okay,
Okay,
Since
Thanks.
this meeting was closed,
excuse me?
since this meeting is closed, we don't need to make a motion to adjourn that decision.
correct, we just left it open for written subs.
Yeah, we only
Just
left it
one.
open for written.
I wasn't here for the original, initial.
Okay, next hearing we have is Bloomberg and Flanders Sheet Metal, or Flanders
It's Flanders Heating and
Heating,
AC.
Heating and AC. Do we have both parties here?
We do.
Okay, Mr. Bloomberg, would you like to come up and get sworn in and
Mr. Blumberg, you're not an attorney?
No,
Someone's going to swear you in then.
I'm actually a physician.
Oh,
But,
okay. If you would just raise your right hand, state your name and address, please.
Well, my name's Laura, James Blumberg on my license.
Okay.
I also go by Lawrence, and we have a local address here at 24 Bridgehill Lane in Bridgehampton. My primary residence is in New York, however, at 27 West 86th Street.
And you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to us.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Please
Okay.
tell us why you're here.
So can you just give us the reason you're bringing this complaint?
We have the application, but.
We have-
I understand.
We have most of the information in front of us. We just like you to give us a brief summary of why
Yeah.
you.
Why I
Yeah.
troubled you with this.
Mhm.
And why I troubled
As
us.
well as the relief you're seeking, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
That is that's the town attorney speaking to you. Mr.
Yeah.
Bloom.
Yeah, thank you very much. This has consumed a lot of my time. I'm a professional, I do other things professionally, obviously, so, and I put a lot of effort into this. And the reason I did that is because my family was taken advantage of. And this is not a case, in my view, about vendors making just little mistakes, which happens all the time. I can understand that. But what I can't understand is when there's such egregious negligence and code violations that not only the job didn't get done properly, there are health consequences, potential health consequences to the things that they did where they didn't follow code. I have no idea whether those things actually transpired. That wasn't my investigation. But I feel very strongly about this. There's a financial component to the amount of money that I had to spend to correct all these just frank deficiencies. They're documented clearly, they're photographed. I had an independent vendor interrogate this, sign off on all of these findings, and it was a financial burden on me. Fortunately, that wasn't catastrophic for me, but it's still a meaningful amount of money, and but I feel very strongly that I don't know whether they're doing it to anyone else, maybe just because I'm so darn diligent, and I'm so careful, and I'm so thorough in the way I do my work, and the way I watch vendors do work on my house, which I have a big investment in. And I don't think they should be operating. Until it's certain that this company is capable of performing at an adequate level and performing their job to code and not taking advantage of customers like us, I think they should not be operating. And I'm in the drug business. I know how the FDA responds to these types of things and what they do when patients are at risk. And there's a metaphor here, although this is not an outright health issue, but the FDA will require review, et cetera. So I'm sorry to. So look, there's a lot of detail here. I'm happy you're reviewing it. I'm pleased that the other attorney came in to address this, and I'll pause there and you take it from here.
Okay, now, one question. You took this to Suffolk County?
I did.
Yes, and there was a settlement? They offered a settlement?
They offered a settlement, and it was
$6,000?
correct. It was half of what it obviously should have been.
And that was offered by Flanders?
That was offered by
Through
Flanders.
Suffolk County Community?
Correct.
Consumer Fair, right?
Correct.
And there was no other action taken by?
There was no other action taken, and look, it was during COVID. We had multiple individuals that cycled through. It took, it was a 2-year process, and look, I'm here relatively late, in part because it just took me this long to figure out that this was an option for me as a consumer. And I also knew that they're licensed here, and that you have perhaps a bit more authority with regard to their license.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Where do you think, can you elaborate a little bit more? You say you were taken advantage of. Where do you think, how do you think you were taken advantage of?
Well, it's clear when you go down, look, we let them go in November of 2019 after having sort of ridiculous arguments about getting a thermostat to work, and I had persistent issues with them. They had, and it's not atypical in business, they made us out to be the bad guy and made us out to be difficult when I was just being appropriately critical of their work over a long period of time. It was only after I had another vendor come in to replace them where I didn't quite appreciate the scope of how much deficiency there was in their work. And that, in my view, is taking advantage of us. They did not perform even at a basic level. And, you know, I think it's laid out here very clearly. I can go through it if that would be appropriate, but I think the evidence was clear that there were just egregious violations and just a basic level of doing their work, which I paid for. I had a maintenance contract with them for 8 years. I haven't even argued or litigated the recovery of all those maintenance fees when in the face of all this work that just wasn't getting done while I was paying them. So, in my view, that was being taken advantage of.
But you had a contract with them? You had, so you
We
had
had
a,
we had
He
a,
had a
well,
maintenance
we
contract.
had a maintenance contract, it's
For 8
customary,
years.
yeah.
for 8 years?
For 8 years. And I did that because I'm loyal, and I was also locked into having that relationship because I had had them do the original AC install in our basement. Not the original, it was a replacement, but yeah. They replaced both of our ACs in the first, for the first floor, and yeah, that locks you into a long-term maintenance contract.
Mm-hmm.
And this work has all been corrected now?
It's all
I mean,
been-
in the summary you have, this,
It's all
that was
been- it's
Ocean
all-
Air's correction of all
It's all
that,
been done. Well, also I had to have Quality Air Care come in and redo all of the ductwork.
cleaning the ducts from the
They cleaned
construction
ducts.
debris and
Correct.
stuff. Okay.
Correct. Which,
Okay, anybody else have any questions? We have most of the information in front of us, so,
yeah.
thank you.
And our jurisdiction is not monetary, it's the
Correct.
licensing,
I
so.
understand.
Okay.
I don't have, do you have a copy of the maintenance contract?
Excuse me?
Do we have a copy of the maintenance contract?
I have a whole bunch of
Yeah,
stuff.
I
think it's-
honestly did not have it in my record. And I have the record of having paid it in 2019, but I don't actually have, they have it.
Copy of what the contract was.
They have it, they should have, it's a form contract that they used every year. I will note that the whole package that I gave you had some misalignment in pages, and they weren't paid invoices. I have all that corrected, but I didn't want to burden you with.
Okay, that's fine, we have enough
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Ocean Air, is it?
correct.
They did the work at the house?
They did the work,
And I see their bills and
correct,
recommendations.
correct.
They're not present to testify?
Well, they signed the document. You know, I don't know what his schedule was or, you know, what the issue was,
Okay.
but he signed it and went through it all, and that's all of his work.
That's fine.
Yeah,
And you paid them in full?
I paid them in full. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Without the contract, I don't.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're an attorney?
I am.
Okay.
I'm Lee Mendelson from Mendelson Law Firm PLLC, 367 Butter Lane, Bridgehampton, New York. So my client is not present today. I received a phone call yesterday that the client who I prepared with is ill and couldn't be here. So I left a message yesterday requesting, you know, an adjournment. I forgot that town hall, like all town halls, were closed yesterday, and I've been advised that my client will have an opportunity to refute the claims in the complaint at the next board hearing. Suffice to say, though, there is a maintenance contract that was in effect, and the maintenance contract provides that should any other vendors work on the system without Flanders' knowledge or being there, that the service contract is void, because as Flanders will tell you, they don't know whether somebody takes a hammer to the system or not. And Dr. Blumberg had other vendors come in while that service contract was in effect. Also, Dr. Blumberg misrepresented the proceedings before Consumer Affairs. They were settled. And in my world, settled means done. I have the emails from Consumer Affairs, from Jay Selick at Consumer Affairs, in which the doctor indicated that he would accept the settlement of $6,000, which was at his insistence. We paid the $6,000, we signed the release, we sent it to Consumer Affairs, and the doctor changed his mind, although there's emails which indicate from Consumer Affairs that that was the amount that was accepted. I will bring all that out at the hearing when my client is present, because they'll be able to testify to it, and I will prepare a submission package for the board. with
Okay,
all
so
of it.
your client will be able to be here next month?
Yes, sir.
And do you have all this information that we have?
I do. I received it from my
Okay.
client.
It'd be very nice if you would get the information that you have and submit it as soon as possible, so we have it, so we can review it before the next meeting,
I absolutely will.
okay? What is your pleasure, board? Adjourn it till
I'm gonna
next
check
month?
with, Mr. Bloomberg. The next meeting is
Is December 14th, 2022 at 9 AM?
is that an acceptable date for you?
December
December 14th.
14th at 9 AM.
Okay,
Or January?
okay,
Do you mind if I just double check the?
absolutely.
Yeah, sorry that we have to make it come back
To do
out
that,
here,
we-
but
It's my pleasure.
So we wanna make sure we,
you like it out here, right?
When is it?
Okay. Okay, so we'll
we're gonna keep
adjourn
it
this.
open for all purposes.
We'll keep it open.
Continue the
We're
hearing
gonna-
to that date, subject to you confirming with the town that it's an acceptable
And
date.
you get all the information to us, and we'll,
Could we request the information to be given within the next week? This way I can give a copy to Mr. Bloomberg as well to
Yes.
review.
yes.
Can you do
that's-
that, Mr. Mendelson?
I can, what's today? Today is
It is in
I
the-
recommend 2 weeks. We have some court holidays in there and stuff. I think 2 weeks is good.
2 weeks, Sean.
I can
Sean
do
said
it.
2 weeks.
I can do it within 2 weeks.
Okay, so
On
we'll
words with
expect
the
that
January.
information to be submitted, and we'll see you December 14th.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay.
Opportunity to respond to
Abs-
the comments?
You can do it now or on the 14th, your pleasure.
It's fresh in my mind and I may forget.
Okay, sure.
Um,
You have to just come up to the lectern so we can get you
Come
on
up.
the record.
Okay, thanks for having me, give me an opportunity to follow up on that. So, I'm not sure what he's talking about, other vendors. All of the work that's described here were things that Flanders was responsible for. They did. It was not done in the interim or conducted, and the actions by another vendor only happened after we terminated the contract and had another vendor adjudicate all of their work. So I'm not sure what misrepresentation
Okay,
he's
well,
talking about.
that we could get into
Yeah.
on December 14th. He
Okay.
was talking about a service contract that you brought vendors in, and that contract was null and void.
No, I didn't. The only time that I brought a vendor in was after November 19th, where I let them go because of issues we
Right.
were having, and I had the other vendor come in. Now, if it's a legal technicality that somehow that now they're no longer responsible for the issues,
Okay,
So be it.
we'll get into that.
We're not saying that that's
We'll
the
get
case.
into that in December 14th.
Clarification's important.
And also, with regard to the settlement, I never cashed the check. I never accepted the check. And whatever interim thinking I was doing in the email with Jay Selick was collaborative, it was respectful, and I just decided that it wasn't sufficient, and I didn't feel like that the case was sufficiently reviewed, that's all.
Okay, well, again, let them
Okay.
state their case, and we'll go from there.
Great, okay,
And we'll see you
Thank you.
December 14th. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
I will, thank you.
You also. Okay. Next order of business. What are we? Who knows? We have no applications to approve, new complaints. Paving Corporation unlicensed, what's the story there, unlicensed?
We're not licensed with the town of Southampton, so it's not our jurisdiction. All the information has been forwarded to code enforcement.
Which one? Sorry.
And then we have
It's Vigoro or Figurio
Figueroa and
Paving
Paving Corp.
Corp. I've
Yeah.
never actually heard of the company out here before.
Then we have Mr. Stein,
What's that? Okay.
Good Guy Contracting.
On Figueroa, can I ask a question? So the town attorney, Sean, so you're gonna pursue this matter?
What matter?
Right, so the building department's code enforcement officer is gonna go out and potentially cite these people. This board does not have jurisdiction because they are not licensed. So they, yes, may be committing a code violation, but this board is not the proper authority to determine that. All right?
Right, that's what, yeah. We'll let the code enforcement do their job.
But then once they get the license, do we review the complaint?
Well,
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. We're gonna, any offer they have in court is gonna involve them coming in and getting properly licensed. So eventually they will come in, and eventually you will have jurisdiction over this contractor.
okay,
All right,
thanks,
thank you.
Sean. Stein, Good Guys Contracting, Quag,
Anybody here?
nobody's here for
No, it
them.
hasn't been assigned to anyone.
Oh, I
It's a new
think we
complaint, so it's Mr. and Mrs. Stein versus L003792 Good Guys Contracting Corp., David Ferrera.
right. Well, I
So,
think,
is Good Guys licensed?
yeah,
Good Guys is licensed,
But
they
they
hired a
hired an unlicensed.
subcontractor.
they hired an unlicensed contractor.
So does it fall upon Good Guys?
Who,
Does it fall upon Good Guys?
Mm-hmm.
you want it?
Yeah,
You have anything?
where is it? Do I
Huh?
know? I don't,
You wanna look into it?
sure.
Okay. We're gonna assign it to Anne Marie, Annie,
Good Guys.
okay?
Okay.
New applications, we can approve renewal applications, 82 of them, home improvement renewals. What's your pleasure?
So I'll make a motion to renew them.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, so move. New plumbing registrations, we have 3.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, so move. Renewal 16 plumbing registrations, 16. Motion,
So moved.
second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, so move. Excuse me, are you here for a reason?
No.
No? Oh, okay, I just didn't want to leave you out. Okay, any other business before the board? If not, we could ask for adjournment.
Motion to
So
close the meeting.
one thing, so the county system is still down for background checks. I spoke with the town board, and essentially what we're gonna do is have new applicants sign affidavits swearing to everything that is in their background check. We'll have them submit the affidavits with their applications so we can keep this board moving. We don't anticipate the background check system will be back up until January or February of 2023. So I'd hate to see, business come to a stop on new applications. So we can have these affidavits filled out, and then we can run applicants, as we get access returned to that system. If that sounds good to everybody.
It's fine with me, is it okay with everybody else?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Sounds
Okay,
good to
good,
me.
sure.
All right, so we should have some new applicants coming in for next month's meeting on the 14th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I didn't make it.
I'll make it.
Second. A second?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All in
I'll
favor?
second.
Mac, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, so moved. Hearing's adjourned.
Okay.